I'm Nettura, welcome to my channel. So the topic of today is that we're going to talk about some small habits that you may be doing or executing in your personal life that are actually to a detriment to yourself because they're kind of like micro curses. When most people think of curses, these images usually come to mind. Satanic rituals, black magic spells, sacrificing animals, the use of dirt or insects in jars, and all of these kind of like graphic imagery. However, there is a version of curses that is actually smaller, kind of more minute, maybe more unintentional, and done out of a more ignorant magnitude. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's get into it. As young children, we imagined the concept of magic to be unrealistic, fantasy-like, more dreamy, more illusionary, images of a wave of a wand, followed by a wish or a prayer, wind twirling around whatever you pointed the wand at, and an image coming to fruition as your personal intention. Coming teenagehood, we were introduced by someone, either physically or over the internet, to the real, non-unrealistic, realistic power we held in our very hands. And we kind of did it wrongly, again, and again, and again, and again, and again. However, we didn't discover it wrongly per se. We only practiced it in a less, maybe practical or less intentional magnitude. We kind of took things literally when we started out with the craft of magic. We took things very literally, like, oh, okay, if I put cinnamon in my candle, boom, I'm gonna be a millionaire soon because cinnamon equals money. Which in reality, it's a lot deeper than that. You know, you need to put like intention, you need to repeat things, you need to listen to subliminals, you need to meditate, you need to cleanse out your masculine chakras, you need to open your feminine chakras, you need to clear out your traumas and stuff like that. So as we grew up, we realized that there is more depth to this concept of magic that we discovered when we were young. And that is magic. The tantric consciousness of evolution and development us mammals are gifted to produce. In simpler terms, the meaning we place over our intentions and execution. Riddle me this. What is the similarity between you, a priest hosting exorcisms, and a satanic cult member? You are all magicians. Anyone is able to host a ritual of any intent at any point of time. However, the results might vary due to everybody's different background and energetic training. So the different styles of executing magic is more so dependent on your cultural background, your religious background, your faith, who you were raised by, how you were raised, etc., etc. You must be careful of internally repeating thoughts of negative self-perception. For example, I am always self-sabotaging. I am not smart enough. I will never make it in life. Even if these emotions and constructions are subjectively correct in your current timeline, they must not be reinforced as they destroy all motivation, cycling into a self-fulfilling prophecy. Whether manifestation is real or fake, self-fulfilling prophecies remain. The most prominent step that we as humans kind of curse ourselves and shoot ourselves on the foot is our thoughts. So thoughts that you had as a child, especially if you were a more introverted, lonely, mute child, you kind of think of yourself as, I don't deserve the spotlight. Why would I be in the spotlight? Usually narcissists are in the spotlight. I don't want to be like them, so I will recluse myself. And this is kind of where you go wrong because everything you kind of constructed in your own mind and programmed yourself into believing as a child will follow you into adulthood, and you will be kind of shooting yourself in the foot when you're trying to build a better life for yourself or manifest. You must stop these things. Obviously, if you are telling yourself negative things in your head and it's kind of been a routine all your life, you can't the next day go, I'm so beautiful, I'm incredible. You can't just switch overnight, right? So first you have to start out by quieting these thoughts. Quieting them. Go, shh. I'm done hearing it. I'm not interested in what you're telling me. kind of put boundaries with yourself, as though you're arguing with yourself. That's how you have to treat that little voice at the back of your head. You have to shut it down. And eventually, when it starts to be shut down, so when your mind becomes more quiet for a longer period of time, you can start introducing the positive affirmations. Your actions follow suit. You shall not tell yourself that you will get rich while buying takeaway every day or clubbing every night. You shall not tell yourself that self-love is the highest vibration while screaming at yourself in your head. Your actions and words have to align to move, either forwards or backwards. And that is where the magic is conceived.
There are a lot of powerful curses that we tend to put on ourselves, on our families, or onto our people that we know, right? So believing, simply saying, like, for example, someone says, hey, let's go to dinner, and you might be tempted to say, no, I can't, I'm poor. Can't afford it, I'm poor. You are reinforcing any bad intentions from people that have ever wanted you to not become financially stable. So what are you going to say instead when you come to that situation? I would like to use my money for other things. You see? So you're going to flip this negative statement, and you're going to find a compromise with it. So you're not going to lie, and you're also not going to blatantly curse yourself. You're just going to find a solution out of wanting to say no. I've had people that have called me ugly, not just once, but I've had people that kept calling me ugly and ugly and ugly over and over again. And obviously, I'm human. I know I'm not ugly. I know I'm pretty, but I'm also human. So I doubt myself sometimes, you know. And I found that every time I kept coming across these people, the ones that were calling me ugly and stuff, and the more I enabled their access into my reality, my existence, you know, my life, like, the more that my skin broke out, the more my hair was falling and thinning, the more my lips were like peeling and stuff, the more whenever I wore makeup, it's like it would like crease really easily, it would go away, and I would sweat harder, I would start smelling when I sweat. These things are called negative reinforcement in psychology. But if we are taking negative reinforcement in psychology and we are translating this concept into spiritual energetic terms, this is energetic manipulation, which is magic. Negative reinforcement, negative, black magic. Do you see where I'm getting at now? I'm trying to make this simple as possible. I don't want to overcomplicate this video and make so many terms. I want this video to reach people that don't even realize that they are accidentally cursing themselves, or people that they love, or even people that they just don't like, they're neutral towards, you know. Your words are so powerful, man. Your words are so powerful. If you keep speaking, even if you feel it, like, I guess feelings are powerful as well, but if you execute that feeling into your tongue, it has proper serious power. So even if you feel like you are poor, or you've never financially started your life, or if you feel like you're stuck in a financial rut, feel them out, whatever, but do not say, I'm poor, I'm 𝐩𝐵𝐺𝐵. Because the more that you keep allowing the more that you keep negatively reinforcing this belief of yours, the less likely you are to learn how to become financially, financially intelligent. Yes? The less you are likely to learn how to save money. The less you are likely to learn where to put the money that you are saving. You are less likely to grow your mind into understanding different way of doing things and growing in your life if you keep reinforcing these harmful negative beliefs onto yourself.
Now let's move on to envy. Envy is defined as a feeling of discontented or resentful longing aroused by someone else's possessions, qualities, or luck as a noun, and as a desire to have a quality, possession, or other desirable thing belonging to somebody else as a verb. Philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche spoke about envy, claiming, "The evil of envy is that it wishes to harm the envied one, even at an expense of the envier. It is willing to sacrifice its own good so as not to be confronted with the good of other." He also says, "Look at those who envy. That is the person you should aim to be. The issue with envy is that it reinforces a lack that we feel in our lives. Envy may quickly descend into the belief that others are more accomplished or morally better, purer, than ourselves, with no evidence to back up that claim. Feeling jealous, or especially envy, is kind of ruining your own self-concept. So how do you believe that you can manifest these things when your self-concept is so low that you are actively envying other people? Another thing, when you find yourself being envied a lot by external people, you need to go down deep in your head, because you might be telling yourself, okay, usually the law of the universe goes that what you attract, you are manifesting to attract, right? You're putting something out in your mind and you are attracting it. So if you find yourself attracting a lot of envy, but you don't necessarily like just randomly feel envious for other people, you might be envious at other people subconsciously. Maybe you grew up really poor, and subconsciously, when you see these people on your phone, living such rich lives, financially free, maybe at the back of your head you go, I wish I didn't have to work a job. I wish I didn't have to wake up and go to work. I wish I wasn't as stressed because of the lack of money that I have. So it's kind of like this. It's not necessarily you being directly envious, but also indirectly envious in your subconscious. So you have to work through these things by building your self-concept. Hair holds memory, some claim. I claim that the type of memory that hair holds is karma. Leaving hair and dust pile up on your floors and surfaces tells your fate, hey, I'm okay with rotting in my old habits and accomplishments. I don't need more. Do you believe that you are set in life? Do you believe that there is nothing left for you to accomplish or improve on? I assume not. So make sure to clean your floors at least every 2 days to promote subconscious change. Do you sometimes experience loudness in your head? Do you sometimes feel unmotivated to take the action that you want to take? These states are all a result of being too comfortable within your past mindset. I cannot stress enough the importance of cleaning your floor, okay? Surfaces are not as important unless they're really dirty, so usually like once a week, even once every 2 weeks if you don't live near a busy road. However, the floor, especially if you have long hair or if you live with people that have long hair, or pets, animals as well, we shed a lot. We shed every single day. And even if you don't have long hair, our skin sheds as well. So you have to clean your floor frequently. And I'm not saying like a deep clean, all the carpets, washing the floor. You don't need to do that every day or every 2 days, but at least a sweep, at least a hoover. Come on, you have to do that. Especially in the most important parts of the house, like the bedroom and the kitchen, as well as behind the door, because you are welcoming outside energy. And if there's a lot of dust and karma from the hair, as I refer to it as karma, piled up behind the door, the energy that you attract kind of is more at a stagnant rate. So you must make sure to leave those places very clean. That's it then. I hope you enjoyed my video today. Let me know if maybe you can think of other ways that are kind of slow curses in your own life. I hope that you were inspired with this video. I hope that you learned something, and even if you didn't, I hope that maybe it made your day a little brighter. It's the first time I tried the style of letting your eyelids bare and only eyeshadowing up here, and I kind of see that it made my eyes look a lot bigger. Have a great day, night, wherever you are in the world, and don't forget to like my video and subscribe. I'll be back very soon.